Welcome to The Explainer. Seriously, I am so incredibly pumped you're here today because we're about to take a pretty wild ride. We're going to look at some of the most fascinating current affairs and scientific updates happening right now. And we're doing it by zooming out. We'll start way down at the microscopic, totally invisible building blocks of life, and we'll end up, well, millions of kilometers away in the deep cosmos.
I mean, think about it. What on earth could possibly connect a 9,000-year-old genetic glitch, a massive 100-kilo sea turtle pulled from the ocean, and the literal deepest reaches of space? It kind of sounds like the setup to a weird joke, right? But these are all very real, entirely distinct developments that experts are grappling with right now. Today, we're going to connect those dots just by shifting our perspective.
Okay, let's quickly run through our game plan today. First up, unlocking ancient genetic codes. Then, wildlife in digital dimensions, stabilizing the power grid, protecting vulnerable ocean giants, and finally, peering into deep space.
Section 1. Unlocking Ancient Genetic Codes. Friedreich's ataxia.
So let's start at the microscopic level with Friedreich ataxia, or FRDA. This is a rare genetic disorder that slowly, progressively damages the nervous system and the heart. And the root of this whole devastating medical mystery lies right in our DNA. Specifically, it's a mutation in what's called the FXN gene. See, this gene is in charge of producing a crucial protein called frataxin, which is absolutely essential for your cells to produce energy. But when someone has these specific glitches called GAA repeat expansions, their cellular energy factories basically break down. This usually triggers symptoms super early, generally between 5 and 15 years of age.
But here's where it gets wild. The timeline we're dealing with here is, well, it's staggering. Researchers actually traced this back and found that 95% of these expanded variants came from just 2 long normal variants that mutated separately in Eurasia. Ancient DNA evidence shows these proto-mutations trace back at least 9,000 years. And get this, they were entirely absent in Neanderthals. It's just a crazy piece of microscopic history surviving right inside human cells today.
Section 2. Wildlife in Digital Dimensions. India's Virtual Zoo.
Zooming out from the microscopic genetic code, let's look at the local community scale. 4.5 crore rupees. That is the chunk of change that just funded India's very first virtual zoo, inaugurated over at the Indoor Zoo in Madhya Pradesh. What's actually a huge deal here is how they pulled it off. This wasn't just a government project. It was built using a public-private partnership, or PPP model. Chief Minister Mohan Yadav inaugurated it recently, really proving how public and private sectors can totally team up to reinvent how communities experience wildlife.
So what did that funding actually buy? Basically, an immersive virtual jungle safari and a 14D cinema theater. Now, I gotta admit, I am still trying to wrap my head around what a 14D experience even is. Like, that is a whole lot of dimensions. But, jokes aside, the tech safely drops visitors right into the middle of the jungle. And the whole point isn't just a fun ride, it's environmental education. It raises wildlife awareness without anyone actually having to disturb real physical habitats. A real win-win.
Section 3. Stabilizing the power grid with an iron-air battery.
Moving up to the regional level, we have to talk about how we actually power these growing cities. Look, if we're going to heavily rely on green energy, we absolutely have to master LDES, long-duration energy storage. It is vital for getting renewable energy into our grids, and right now the Simhadri Superthermal Power Station in Andhra Pradesh is making massive waves. Operated by NTPC, they're hosting India's very first utility-scale pilot of an indigenous, rechargeable iron-air battery. Because let's face it, we have a fundamental problem with renewables, right? The sun doesn't always shine when everybody gets home and turns on their AC, and the wind doesn't always blow. This iron-air battery system is built to bridge that exact gap. By using long-duration storage, the grid can handle those peak demand periods by drawing from the battery when renewable generation is low. It's literally a giant balancing act to keep the whole region's grid stable.
Section 4. Protecting vulnerable ocean giants, the loggerhead sea turtle.
Expanding our scale to a global level now, let's talk about the world's oceans and a recent wildlife rescue that is just wow. Just picture the sheer size of this animal. A distressed loggerhead sea turtle weighing over 100 kilograms was just rescued from the Arabian Sea. These guys are large, migratory marine reptiles, known for their massive heads and incredibly powerful jaws. You'll find them roaming tropical and temperate waters globally, from the Atlantic and Pacific to the Indian Ocean and the Med. And they are super important ecological players, eating hard-shelled organisms and recycling vital nutrients back into the water.
But honestly, how do you even rescue a 100-kilo turtle? Well, it takes a highly coordinated village. First, the Yellowgate Police Patrolling Team spotted it. They quickly handed the turtle over to RAW, that's the Reskink Association for Wildlife Welfare. From there, RAW coordinated directly with the mangrove cell to get the turtle proper treatment and rehab. This seamless chain of custody is absolutely crucial because the loggerhead is classified as vulnerable on the IUCN Red List. Every single one of these giants matters.
Section 5. Peering into Deep Space, the Roman Space Telescope.
For our final zoom out, we are leaving Earth entirely. You might want to mark your calendars for August 30, 2026. That is when NASA's Next-Gen Infrared Space Observatory is blasting off from Florida. It's called the Nancy Grace Roman Space Telescope, and if you're wondering about the name, Nancy Grace Roman was a completely trailblazing astronomer. She's famously known as the mother of Hubble because she was instrumental in setting up NASA's space astronomy program. Launching this is just such a fitting tribute to her.
Okay, let's look at the hardware, because the specs on this thing are insane. It's packing a massive 2.4-meter primary mirror. And it's not just chilling in Earth's orbit. It's going to operate way out at the L2 point, which is about 1.5 million kilometers away from us. From out there, its main jobs are mapping galaxy evolution, hunting for new exoplanets, and studying the greatest mysteries of all, dark energy and dark matter.
When you stack Roman up directly against Hubble, the leap in tech is just wild. Roman builds on all that Hubble legacy, but it surveys the sky so much faster. But the real game changer? Its field of view covers an area 100 times larger than Hubble can in a single shot. It is quite literally blowing the doors wide open on how much of the universe we can see at once. Which really brings us to our final thought. With a survey area 100 times bigger than Hubble, staring into the deepest, oldest corners of the universe, what kind of mind-blowing new exoplanets and dark energy secrets are we going to uncover next? I mean, when you step back and look at it, from a 9,000-year-old microscopic code in our DNA to a massive battery keeping the lights on, all the way to the edge of the known universe, the sheer scale of what we are uncovering every single day is just incredible. It's a huge testament to our drive to learn. Thank you so much for joining me on this explainer today, and keep asking those big questions.